Okay, we're going to grab our second to lightest loop band, bringing it around our wrists. We'll come into child's pose, placing our forearms on the foam roller, palms facing in, sitting our tailbone back onto our heels. Deep inhale and exhale, feeling the pelvis sink towards the heels. Inhale, pelvis pulls down. Exhale, inner thighs pull back towards the back of your mat. Again, inhale, pelvis pulls down. Exhale, inner thighs pull back. Plug the shoulders down the back. Pull out on this band, engaging your scapular stabilizers. Plug the shoulders down. Make sure you're pushing down and out with those forearms. Lift your chin. Engage the front of the neck. Really sit your tailbone back a little bit more each time to stretch out the low back on your exhales. Go ahead and move yourself to a diagonal to your right, still keeping the forearms on the roller, palms facing in. Now sitting the opposing, so the opposite butt cheek. If you're to the right, that's your left butt cheek is sitting really heavy on your heel. You're inhaling, pulling the pelvis towards the heels. Exhaling, inner thighs are pulling back to whatever's behind you. We want to get deep into the posture, opening up that tight back, relaxing the facial muscles, and hearing your breath. Inhale. And Ujjayi breath, which is like the ocean. Inhale. And exhale. 2 more times. Inhale. Sitting back deeper. Exhale. And 1 more time. Inhale. And exhale. Let's make our way to the second side. Make sure as you're sitting back, you're not collapsing the head down onto the chest. Widen that gap because we don't want to reinforce forward head syndrome. Really sit that opposite butt cheek. You're to the left now, so it's going to be that right butt cheek is going to sit back. Inhale. Pull the lower abdominals in, and this Darth Vader sound allows you to contract the deepest layer of your core, your transverse abdominis, so you get a workout for your inner core muscles, and you also send oxygen to the areas we're stretching and working today. So remember that your breath is as important as the repetitions, and it affects the quality of your movement. Inhale. And exhale, walking yourself back to center. Let's make our way onto our backs, taking our second to heaviest loop band around our outer thighs. So we'll place that loop band around the outer thighs, and then we'll lie on our back. Our hands are going to come to our hips. With our bony protrusions, we're going to take our thumbs to the bony protrusions of the hips, and the rest of the fingers are together and they're pointing down towards the bottom of the mat. I want you to, if you can't reach the bony protrusions of your hips, aim for them with your thumbs. If you reach them, I want you to kind of pull out very gently and feel the pelvis widening. And then with the other fingers, pull down on your pelvis as you inhale both legs into the air, pointing the toes, nice and perpendicular to the floor, straight legs. So we'll start with your non-dominant leg lowering and lifting. So if you're right-handed, this is your right leg. If you're left-handed, this is your left leg. It's the same leg as your non-dominant leg, as your dominant arm. It's very confusing, but we walk in opposition. So we tend to sit into the hip of our opposite leg as we're working our dominant arm, which means that side gets stronger, especially in the glutes and outer hip area. So as we're lowering and lifting, we're breathing. We inhale to lift, and we exhale to lower. The hands are on the hips to remind you to plug the shoulders down, to pull the pelvis down on each inhale, and to keep the pelvis wide and not hiking from side to side. So you're pulling out on the bony protrusions of the hips and pulling down on the pelvis. If your facial muscles are tightening, just close your eyes and relax them. Try to soften the front ribs towards the back ribs so that your rib cage doesn't push out and you don't disengage with your core. Go ahead and bend the knee of the work of both legs and lower the feet to the ground. We're going to move into a glute bridge. Legs are hip distance apart, palms are on the floor, facing down. Inhale the hips up, interlacing the hands under the back and pushing the fist you're making into the floor, wiggling the upper arms underneath you to open up the front of your shoulders. Breathing here. Inhale and exhale. Inhale and exhale. And one more breath here. Inhale and exhale, peeling down upper back, mid back to tailbone, hands back to the hips, fingers facing down the legs, thumbs on the bony protrusions of the hips. Inhale the legs up, hip distance apart, perpendicular to the floor, pointed toes. Now the dominant leg, point the toes as that leg goes down. Inhale to lift it up. Exhale to lower down. And remember, your dominant leg is opposite of your dominant arm. If you're ambidextrous, then you can pick a side. Also, if you've been in a cast for over 6 months, your dominant leg could be the opposite of what it would normally be. So there are exceptions, but it's very important to try to work the dominant side first because it sends the muscle memory to the non-dominant side so the form can be adjusted and worked on. And we also do extra repetitions on our non-dominant side. Continue on. Give me 4 more. Taking it down as you exhale, lifting as you inhale. 2 more. Exhale, lower. Inhale, lift. And exhale, lower. Inhale, lift. Bend the knees. Plant the feet on the ground. Hands at your side, palms facing down. Inhale the pelvis up. Interlace the hands underneath you. Switch the grip. It's going to feel funky. The fingers may be facing you now instead of facing each other. Plug your shoulders down your back, wiggling the upper arms underneath you. Widen the gap between the chin and the chest. Feel your pelvis reaching to the wall in front of you. All corners of the feet pressing heavy into the floor. On your next exhale, release the grip of the hands and begin to round down upper back, mid back to tailbone. From here, let's go ahead and take both legs into the air, inhaling them up. Take the hands behind the head and we're going to do some crunches. Inhaling to lift and exhaling to lower. Making sure that if you're feeling the front of the thighs, you bend the knees and keep your legs in tabletop. And if you're still feeling them here, after tucking your pelvis and flattening your low back into the floor, you can bring the feet all the way to the floor with the knees pointing up to the ceiling. 4 more repetitions, working the upper fibers of your outer abs here, the rectus abdominis. And 2 more. 2. Last one. And 1. Exhale, lower those feet to the floor. And bring the hands by your side. Let's go ahead and slide out our non-dominant leg on the ground. And we'll take our dominant hand behind our head now. And let's take both hands behind our head so there's no confusion. Go ahead and crunch up, taking the leg that's extended up as the upper body lifts. Point the toes and lower it down. Inhale to lift and exhale to lower. 3 more. Inhale, lift and exhale. And if you can, try to open your elbows out to the side and plug your shoulders down your back. Really rest the head heavy into the hands like it's resting back into a hammock, and take some space and create some space between the chin and the chest. Try to not drop the chin onto the chest as you come up each time. Plug your shoulders down, widen your collarbone, and plenty. Let's switch sides, setting up on the other side, bending the knee, putting the foot down you just worked, and point the toes before you begin. Inhale to lift, pelvis reaching to the wall in front of you. Exhale, lower. Inhale, lift, and exhale, lower. Keep it going. Using your breath. Inhale up and exhale down. Last two, inhale, lift. Exhale, lower. And one more time, inhale, lift. And exhale, lower. Bend that knee, placing the foot back on the ground. Great job. We're going to flip over to our hands and knees. We'll need to keep our second to heaviest loop band around our outer thighs, the second to heaviest loop band. And then you're going to grab your small anti-burst ball, bringing it between the calf and the hamstring of your dominant leg. This is the dominant leg is the opposite leg of your dominant arm. Go ahead and take that leg up to a right angle, pointing the toes. Widen the space between the chin and the chest. Try to pull your shoulder blades together. Inhale, prepare, pulling the pelvis towards the wall behind you. Exhale, kick the shin into the ball, trying to not move the pelvis all over the place as you do this. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, kick the shin in. 2, 3, 4. Inhale, lengthen. And exhale, kick in. 2, 3, 4. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, kicking in. 2, 3, and 4. Let's slowly lower that down and switch sides. On this side, go ahead and bring your hand to your hip. So you're going to bring the same hand to the hip as the leg that's down. Take the other leg up to that right angle. Point the toes. Square your pelvis. Remember the thumb on the bony protrusion of your hip and the fingers facing down the thigh towards the floor. Pull your shoulder blades together. Inhale. Exhale. Kick into the ball. 2, 3, 4. Inhale. Exhale. Kick into the ball. 2, 3, 4. Continue. Inhale. Widen the gap between the chin and the chest. Exhale, kick in. 2, 3, 4. One more. Inhale. Exhale, kick in. 2, 3, and 4. You may lose the ball, but you can grab it and place it back between the hamstring and calf. Go ahead and switch sides one more time. I want to repeat the first side with the hand on the hip. So take that first leg up. We're going to do an extra set on this side. And square the pelvis off. Lift your chin. Inhale, prepare. Exhale, kick into the ball. 2, 3, 4. Inhale. Exhale, kick in. 2, 3, 4. So this really works the outer hip. So it should be working your non-dominant leg's outer hip right now. And we're doing that extra set for the purpose of isolating that one more time. Give me 2 more sets. Inhale. Exhale, kick in. 2, 3, 4, and one more. Inhale, pointed toes. Exhale, kick. 2, 3, 4. Set that ball to the side. Come to lie down on your stomach with that second to heaviest loop band still around your outer thighs. On our stomachs, we're going to take our dominant arm to cactus, making sure the elbow lines up with the shoulder on the floor. Turn your head away from this cactus arm and bring the other hand right by your chest on the floor. You're going to lift the same leg as the hand by the chest up and spiraling it around, reaching it for the wall behind you, opening up the thigh and the hip as the leg goes around. So you're creating this arabesque or look like in ballet. So the spine spirals. Head stays down, temple on the floor. Plug the shoulders down. You should feel a stretch in the front of the shoulder of the arm and cactus. And you may feel your hip flexor on the leg that's lifted lengthening. Each inhale, your pelvis pulls towards the bottom of the mat. Each exhale, your inner thighs pull back to take you deeper into the twist. Keep your head turned towards the hand that's by your chest. Keep the shoulders plugged down. Inhale. And exhale. Go a little deeper by pushing with the hand by the chest, plugging the shoulders down. And inhale. Exhale. This time, inhale, spiraling back to center, switching arms. So take the non-dominant arm to cactus, dominant hand to the chest. Head is down, spiraling around, pointed toes. Feel as if I have your pelvis. I'm pulling it to the bottom of the mat. Inhale. Inner thighs are pulling your legs back into the spiral. And that hand by the chest, you can use it as leverage. Watch out for The shoulders rounding forward though. Think about pinching something between your shoulder blades, keeping your low abs in, keeping the temple and side of the head on the floor at all times. Inhale and exhale. And one more breath. Inhale and exhale. Inhale, spiraling out of this posture. We're going to take both hands by the chest and we're going to move into up dog. Inhale, pressing up to upward facing dog, plugging the shoulders down, turning the head right, left, right, left. Pause in the center. Inhale, plug the shoulders down again. And exhale, turn the head again. 2, 3, 4. Back to center. Inhale. And exhale, lower yourself back to the mat. We'll repeat that. As you lift up, your pelvis reaches for your toes. Your thighs can hover. Shoulders plugged down. Turn the head. 2, 3, 4. Inhale, center. Plug the shoulders down. Exhale, turn the head. 2, 3, 4. Inhale, center. And exhale, lower yourself back down. We're going to do 2 more repetitions. Inhale, lift up. Exhale, turn the head. 2, 3, 4. Inhale, plug the shoulders down, lift the pelvic floor muscles in. Exhale, turn the head. 2, 3, 4. Inhale, center. Exhale, inner thighs pull back as you lower down. Slow. 2, 3, 4. As you lift up, your pelvis pulls towards your feet. Inhale, lift. Exhale, turn the head. 2, 3, 4. Inhale, center. Exhale, turn the head. 2, 3, 4. And center. Inhale. Control. Lower yourself down. From here, push yourself back onto your knees. I want your knees hip distance apart. Bring your hands to your hips so you're rising up on your knees. Tops of the feet are on the ground. So thumbs come to the bony protrusions of your hips and fingers point down to the floor. Pull your shoulder blades together and tuck your booty under like a scared puppy. Inhale, prepare by pulling your pelvis towards the floor. Exhale, your inner thighs pull you back as you hinge back, creating a diagonal from the knees out through the crown of the head. So make sure the upper back doesn't arch, that you keep your chest closed, collarbone wide, shoulder blades retracted. You're stretching the front of the thighs out. And come back up. Inhale. Tuck the pelvis under. Lift from your lower abdominals as you hinge back. Exhale, inner thighs pull you back. Tuck the booty under. Lower pelvic floor lifts in and up. Hold. Inhale, 1. Breathe. Exhale, 1. Inhale, lift back up. Exhale, hinging back. Hold. Inhale. Exhale, 1 more breath down here. Inhale. Exhale, inhale, lift. And let's do 1 more, really opening up the front of the thighs. Exhale, hinge back, tuck the pelvis. Hold, inhale, 1, breathe. Exhale, and inhale, lifting back up. Let's come into a plank position. I'd like you to keep this second to heaviest band around your outer thighs. High push-up position on the hands. We're going to make sure that our pelvis is down, so walk the hands forward if your pelvis is hiked at all. Reach the pelvis towards the feet on the ground, and the legs are hip distance apart. Exhale, tap the knees to the floor. Inhale, lift them up. Exhale, tap them down. Inhale, lift them up. Exhale, tap them down, sitting back into child's pose, pushing yourself back, tops of the feet rest down. Inhale. Sit back, exhale. Inhale forward into your plank. Exhale, tap the knees down. Inhale, lift them up. Exhale, tap them down. Inhale, lift them up. Exhale, tap them down. Sitting back into child's pose. Inhale, 1, breathe. Inner thighs pull you back deeper. Exhale, 1. And inhale, pull yourself forward, so chest coming through the arms, finding plank. Exhale, tap the knees down. Lift them up. Tap them down, and initiate from the core, the lowering and lifting of the knees. Exhale, inner thighs engage, sit back, pushing back into child's pose. Hold it here. Inhale, 1, breathe. Exhale, 1. Inhale forward, last set. Find that plank. Tap the knees, exhale. Lift them, inhale. Tap, exhale. Lift, inhale. And tap, exhale, sitting back. Final child's pose here. Relax the toes. Inhale, one, breathe. Exhale, one. And inhale, coming to a comfortable seated position. Good job. Okay, from here, we're going to take off this second to heaviest loop band. Actually, keep it on. And if it's not comfortable when you come into this position, you can always take it off, but it does help with alignment. So I want you to bring your roller onto the floor. And we're going to come onto our knees on the roller. We're coming into a kneeling position. So I'd like you to step your non-dominant leg forward. So that's the same leg as your dominant arm. Step it forward into a kneeling position. So you'll first be on your knees and make sure the toes are tucked under of the leg that's staying back. The leg that comes forward. Now the hands come to the hips, thumbs on the bony protrusions of your hips. Pull the shoulder blades together. All four fingers point down towards the floor. All fingers besides the thumbs, and then roll your shoulders back onto your back. Tuck your booty under and drive your hips forward a little bit. You're going to feel your hip flexors stretching on the leg that's back. To intensify this, we can take our back leg's arm up into the air, straight up in shoulder flexion, and hold that position here, plugging the shoulders down and breathing. Inhale and exhale. So the hip flexors are posturally tight with lordosis. So this is an important area to stretch, excuse me, before you begin glute work and hamstring work. Couple more breaths. Inhale, exhale, and inhale, exhale. Bring your hands to the floor or to the thigh, stepping back, whatever feels safest for you. Got to get some water. Okay, we're going to switch sides. Setting up on the other side, taking the leg forward as if you were proposing. Now you'll notice, since this is your dominant leg, that the hip is going to hike up. The front leg's hip's going to hike up a little bit because it's overactive. So I want you to guide it down, thinking about each inhale as a chance for the pelvis to pull towards the roller. And each exhale, you can drive the pelvis forward as your inner thighs pull back to the wall behind you. Option to take the back arm up. I got something in my throat. Keep breathing. Inhale. And exhale. Hold it. 2 more breaths here. Inhale, fighting to get the pelvis even and lengthening. Don't shorten your side body. We want long, strong abs, especially those obliques. It looks so good in swimsuits. All right, from here, we're going to make our way onto our hands and knees, and we'll flip over to a seated position. You're going to keep this second to heaviest loop band around your outer thighs. From your seated position, I want you to bring your hands behind your back, either with the fingers facing the butt or out to the side on the ground. Place your feet on the ground with your knees facing up to the ceiling. So this is called reverse bridge in yoga. In Pilates, we call it something else, but basically we're lifting the hips up into the air. You can open your throat chakra by lifting the chin and engaging the neck flexors. Tuck your pelvis as the hips go up. And exhale, inner thighs, pull the legs back to the floor. Make sure your hands are facing your butt or out to the side. You don't want them facing back because it puts too much pressure on your elbows, your elbow joints. We're going to hold for 2 breaths at the top. Take it up. Hold it here. Inhale 1, breathe. Exhale 1. Inhale 2. Exhale 2. Inhale and lower down slowly. Exhale. 1 more set like that. Taking it up. Holding it up. Exhale. Inhale through the nose or mouth. Exhale out the mouth. Inhale, reach the pelvis towards whatever's in front of you, and exhale, inner thighs. Control it as you lower down slowly. We're going to come to lie on our back now. Have your roller handy and keep that second to heaviest loop band on your outer thighs. Place the roller under your feet with your feet as close to your butt as you can get them without bothering the knees. Hands down by your sides. Point the toes, wrapping them around the roller. Inhale, send your hips up, reaching the pelvis towards the wall in front of you. Hold it up. Inhale, 1, breathe. Exhale, 1, staying for 2. Inhale, 2. Exhale, lower down upper back, mid back, tailbone. Again, inhale, pelvis reaches forward as you lift up. Hold it up. Inhale, 1, breathe. Exhale, 1. Inhale, and peeling down upper back, mid back to tailbone. Point the toes around the roller. Inhale to lift. Exhale. Inhale, get the pelvis up, 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 up. And exhale, peel down upper back, mid back to tailbone. And let's do one more. Inhale, lift up. Exhale, hold. Inhale, reach the pelvis forward. You can even tuck it under, releasing the hip flexors. And exhale, control it as you lower down by pulling down towards the floor with the inner thighs. From here, we're going to roll onto our side to come up to a seated position. In our seated position, you can place the roller under your knees, or you can just extend your legs straight out and fold forward. Either way, you're going to fold forward and stretch the back. It's a little more gentle on the legs when you have the roller under the knees, and it's more aggressive when you release it, so you get a little hamstring release. But we're focusing more on the back and relaxing the mind here, reconnecting with the breath, lengthening each inhale and exhale. And on your next inhale, round up. Make your way to a standing position, keeping this band on. And I'd like you to step to the top of your mat with your hands on your hips. And you're going to keep the thumbs on the bony protrusions of the hips and the fingers pointing down towards the floor. Feet hip distance apart and parallel, so parallel feet, soft bend in the knees. Inhale, pull your pelvis down towards the floor. Exhale, pull back with your inner thighs into chair pose or squat pose as we call it. Hold it here. Inhale, stay and exhale. Inhale, one more breath down here. And exhale, inner thighs pull you deeper. And inhale as you come up, pull the pelvis down. Pull it down, 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 down. Again, exhale, sitting back, inner thighs pull you back. Hold it here. Inhale, 1, breathe. Exhale, 1. Inhale, stay low. Exhale, and inhale, pelvis lifts down or pulls down as you lift up. One more time like that. Exhale, sitting back, holding it back. Inhale, 1, breathe. Exhale, 1. Shoulder blades together. Inhale, 2. Exhale, 2. Inhale, lift. Pelvis pulls down in opposition. Pelvic floor muscles, the muscles that stop your stream of pee, lift up. And from here, so you're at the top of your mat. We're going to step back into a reverse lunge. Make sure you still have the band on unless it's bothering you for some reason. Otherwise, it's going to help your alignment. Go ahead and keep your non-dominant leg forward. This is the same leg as your dominant arm. And step your non-dominant leg back. Hands to the hips, thumbs on the bony protrusions of the hips, fingers pointing down to the floor. Make sure to pull the front leg's hip, pull it back a little bit and drop it down. Plug the shoulders down, pull the shoulder blades together. Hold it here. Inhale, 1 and exhale, 1. Inhale, think about the length of your torso. Exhale, think about deepening into the lunge by lowering a bit by pulling back with the inner thighs. Inhale, pelvis pulls down. Exhale, inner thighs pull back. Option to lift the same leg as back, same arm as back leg up into shoulder flexion. Inhale. And exhale. One more breath here. Pull the pelvis down. Inhale. Inner thighs pull back. Exhale. Hands to the hips. Step forward. Inhale. Stepping the opposite leg back. Exhale. Make sure your legs stay hip distance apart. And that back foot's heel is not on the ground because you're in a lunge, not warrior 1. So you've got the heel popped up. Your pelvis is pushing forward. You're opening up that posturally tight hip flexor. You can take the same arm as the back leg up if you want to. Inhale, pulling the pelvis down, keeping the shoulder blades together by your hand position. The hand position is really helpful with the thumb on the bony protrusion of the hips and all the fingers pointing down. This allows more shoulder blade retraction. Give me one more breath here. Inhale. Inner thighs pull you deeper into the posture. Exhale, and then inhale the hands to the hips as you step forward. Good job.